Hey y'all, today we're making Philadelphia cheesecake bars. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is make our crust. So I didn't have any graham cracker crumbs, so I'm going to have to make my own. So you're going to need either a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs or about 12 of these graham cracker sheets, okay? And we're just going to put these in a Ziploc bag. Look, I'm counting just so I can be precise. So you're going to put these in a big Ziploc bag, and then we're going to crush these up until we get it into the graham cracker crumbs that we need, okay? And if y'all didn't know, this copycat recipe, Philadelphia cream cheese used to make these cheesecake bars, and they were so good. They made them when my kids were younger, and my daughter loved these. And she told me when I first started my channel, she was like, Mama, make some of those Philadelphia cream cheese bars or the cheesecake bars. And I was like, okay, I will. And I never got around to doing it. So now that I'm kind of in this, you know, in the zone of kind of making some of these copycat things, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make her some of these. And y'all, they turned out so good, just FYI. So now that you've got your graham cracker crumbs, you're going to go ahead and pour those into a small bowl. Go ahead, y'all, too, and preheat your oven to 350 at this point. I forgot to tell y'all that. But just get your oven preheating 350. And then you're going to pour your graham cracker crumbs in a bowl. And then we're going to add to that a 1/4 cup of sugar, because these are a dessert bar. So, you know, we're going to add that little extra sugar in there. And I just like to mix my crumbs and my sugar, you know, up together so they'll be nice and mixed when I add the butter. So then we're going to add in 6 tablespoons of melted butter. And then you're going to mix this up until all of your graham cracker crumbs are good and coated. Now, I don't know if in all my infinite wisdom and counting over there, I put an extra graham cracker or what. Mine turned out a bit crumbly. So I may, if it's too crumbly, it's going to be hard to cut once you're ready. So maybe add just a tiny bit more butter just so your crust will hold together. So once you get everything mixed up, this is an 8x8 pan. I put a little piece of parchment paper in there because we don't want to have to cut these in the pan. You want the parchment paper in there so when everything's done, you can just pull it out of the pan, and then it's a lot easier to deal with when you're cutting it and stuff. So pour your graham cracker crumbs right on top of your little parchment paper. And I did put a little cooking spray in the bottom just to hold that, and then a little bit of cooking spray underneath the crust also. Now, I don't normally spray my parchment paper, but this recipe actually called for it, and I found this on Pinterest, by the way. So I just pressed my graham cracker crumbs down into the pan the best I could. And so we're going to set that to the side, and now we're going to get the cheesecake part made. So what you're going to need for this is 2 blocks of softened cream cheese. And if you forget to take your cream cheese out of the refrigerator to sit out and come up to room temperature, if you'll lay your cream cheese on your oven while it's preheating, that normally will get it soft enough that you can fool with it. Okay, so just if you forget, try that. And just, you know, that way you won't have to wait forever for your cream cheese to come up to room temperature. So add two blocks of cream cheese, and then we added in a 1/2 cup of sugar. And then we're going to add in a little bit of vanilla, about a 1/2 teaspoon or so. Y'all know I didn't measure, obviously. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup of sour cream. I didn't have any sour cream, but I have this non-fat plain Greek yogurt. If you need sour cream in a recipe and you don't have it, you can substitute Greek yogurt. It's also a tiny bit healthier. Not that it's going to matter with all the cream cheese and the sugar we're adding into this one, but, you know, on a normal day, it might make a difference that you added Greek yogurt. I don't know. Maybe it made me feel a little healthier. So once you get that added in, mix that up with your hand mixer just to kind of get it mixed in a little bit. And then we're going to add in 2 eggs. Now we're adding, 2 room temperature eggs. If you forget to sit your eggs out, you can get a bowl of warm water, sit your eggs down in the warm water for about 10 minutes or so, and that will bring your eggs to room temperature. So There's another little trick. Y'all learning all kinds of stuff today. So anyway, mix your eggs in. You're going to mix this until everything is completely mixed in and smooth, okay? Then we're going to take that batter that we just made, our little cheesecake mixture, and we're going to pour that right over our crust that we made, okay? And like I said, y'all, I had a lot of copycat recipes that I've done and that I've got coming up. So I made a playlist, and I'm going to link that for y'all in case y'all want any more fun copycat recipes, okay? So once you dump your cheesecake over there, just spread it out the best that you can. You know, get it pretty even because we want it to cook even, you know. And then once you get that all done, we're going to pop this in the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 40 to 45 minutes. Just watch it. You know, you want it a tiny bit jiggly in the center, just a little bit. And, you know, it'll be puffy around the edges. So while our cheesecake is cooking, we're going to get our strawberry, the jam part, it's not a glaze, y'all. What is it called? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to get it made. Y'all say it, the word will come to me in a minute. Y'all know words are hard. So you're going to cut up some strawberries. You need 1.5 cups. Now look, if you don't want to go through all of this, you could just find some good strawberry jam and use that instead. But I was like, this isn't really that difficult, so I'm going to put mine together, and you know homemade just tastes better anyway. So if you have time to do it homemade, I would recommend to do it because it's very simple. So like I said, 1.5 cups of strawberries, chop those up. Then you're going to need about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This lemon, honey, was on its last leg. You can't really tell in the video, but I was working hard to cut through that lemon. And I started to get a little measuring spoon out, and I was like, it's not even worth it. I'm just going to squeeze it in here. If I have a little more, a little less, it's not going to hurt nothing. So about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And just if you didn't know this, if you have after I've squeezed that out of there, if you cut that up, if you have a garbage disposal, drop that in your garbage disposal and turn it on, and it'll get them blades to running, and then your house smells like lemon. Look, there's y'all another tip. I'm telling y'all, and you're learning so much today. So once you get your strawberries and your lemon juice in there, add in 5 tablespoons of just regular old sugar, okay? Because we got to make it sweet. We're sort of making like a jam. We're making sort of a jam, on a very small scale. So 5 tablespoons of sugar. Then we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of water. And then the last thing that we're going to add in here is 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, okay? Because we don't want this to be like soupy. We want it to be sort of thick. So we're going to put the cornstarch in there to help thicken the liquid up as it cooks down, okay? So once you get all that added in there, we're going to put that on the stove. We're going to bring that to a boil. Mix it up good. Bring it to a boil. Once it starts to boil, cut it down to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until that sauce in the liquidy part thickens up, okay? You need to make sure that you're stirring it pretty often also because you don't want it to stick because it is like syrupy, okay? It's going to get kind of syrupy. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Your strawberries are soft. It's a real bright red color. And yeah, see there how it's thickened up? So we're going to pour that into a bowl, and then we're going to put this, let it cool down to room temperature. And then I covered it up and stuck it in my refrigerator overnight. I made the cake and the strawberry stuff the day before or the night before. And then I just put it all together the next day. Okay. So, because everything needs to be cool. So I just thought that would be easier. So there it is. We're going to let it cool to room temperature and then put it in the refrigerator overnight. Or if you don't have overnight, just stick it in there until it's cold. Okay, this is our cheesecake when it comes out. We're going to let that cool to room temperature, put it in the refrigerator overnight or for 4 to 5 hours. So the next day I got up. I don't know where the footage is, but I cut my cheesecake into squares, and then you're going to take a little spoon and you're just going to very carefully, because your cheesecake is going to try to come apart there at the edges. So just be real careful, and you're going to it may be hard for y'all to see, I don't know, but you're making like a little trench little ditch, a little ditch in your cheesecake, because we got to have somewhere to put that yummy jam we made. Now, see how thick it is after it's sat and it's gotten cold? Y'all, put this stuff on some toast. It is good. You hear me? But you're gonna put that down in your little trench that you dug. Look, I'm trying to keep neat. Now, if you don't want to dig out the little trench and stuff, you don't have to do that. You can just spread it over the top if you want to. So once that is done, the final step for these, you're going to take some white chocolate chips, and I didn't measure these, just, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a cup. Pop those in the microwave 30 seconds at a time until your chips are melted, okay? And then this is what we're going to put just to sort of drizzle it over the top of these. Like I said, they used to make these. I don't know why they discontinued these, because these were delicious. Okay, like when you could go to the store and just buy that. I think it came like in a pack of 4 or something. But like I said, that was my daughter's, like that was her favorite snack. She loved these things. And then you can't find them no more. But now y'all know how to make them. Now you know how. See, you're welcome. I'm doing y'all a favor. So we're going to take this little cheap Ziploc bag, and y'all know what the conundrum I had with Ziploc bags if you've been following my channel. When I try to use them as a piping bag, they have a lot of the new Ziploc bags now have that kind of square bottom on it, so they'll stand up, and that just messes up my cheap piping bags, y'all. So I went to the dollar store and found me a cheap bag, a box of sandwich bags. So you're going to put your white chocolate in there, and you're going to snip the end off. You need to work kind of fast with this because your chocolate's going to try to set up pretty quick, but don't burn yourself. So you're just going to drizzle that, just a thin little drizzle, right over the top of your cheesecake bar. And that's it, y'all. Look how good these look. Is that not delicious looking? They were real good too. So if y'all have never had these or you never made them, you got to give them a try because they are delicious. Okay, that's all I've got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.